crypto has dumped and you feel like,
that's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
But it isn't. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Davinci Jeremy. I'm in the pipe 5x5 here in Dubai. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. By the way, guys, I know that you don't listen and don't watch my show. When you come up to me and say, Jeremy, no, my first name's Davinci. So yeah, if you want me to really appreciate the fact that, you listen and you see me, you say, hey, Davinci, not Jeremy. Okay. Davinci. All right. With that said, we got a good show for you today. Man, dumped exactly like I predicted. Right. We're going to be talking about the news. I think there's an additional signal that may mean Bitcoin and gold are about to explode spectacularly in the next few months. We're going to talk about that signal in today's episode. Also, we're going to be talking about, hey, you know what's going on with Bitcoin and its op return? What does that mean? I think that's an important subject to go over, and we're going to be discussing that in today's episode. Now, with that said, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you guys for hitting the subscribe and the like. Really appreciate you guys, and let's get on with it. Okay, so right now, as you know, I have a school for those who basically need to understand how Bitcoin works. The process of this school is we're going to teach you how to use Bitcoin, how to be confident holding Bitcoin, making sure that you don't get scammed and you don't lose your keys. That's what this class is all about. Then we're going to actually move it to advanced courses where you're actually going to earn money in Bitcoin going into the future. Now, there's going to be Bitcoin for advanced users, actually, will be in the next course outline. And of course, if you've signed up here, you will get that free. But if you don't, you'll have to pay for that. It's a different option if you wait until we actually have that course available. So Bitcoin for advanced users, right? Or maybe we might change the name to Bitcoin for growth or something like that, because that's what it would be about: growing your wealth, growing an amount of Bitcoins in the next set of classes. And so first we need to start with beginners, right? Then we're going to don't go on to growing your wealth, because that's important, right? Okay. Binance founder CZ said nations will print unlimited money to buy Bitcoin. It's happening. Duh. I mean, come on. I mean, it's honestly they're not going to do it directly. Nations are not stupid, right? Some of them are buying it under the table. Some of them are not. And some of them are smart, like the United States, say, yeah, corporation, you can buy some Bitcoin. You can do the ETF. You can do whatever. And I'll just sign a law that says, those are all mine. Here's the dollars. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out. Right? Because that's coming. And if you don't think that's coming, right, please study history. You're an idiot. Right? If you do really believe that's not coming, all right, well, the vaccine is safe and effective. Go take it. All right, Solana cross-chain swaps goes live on PancakeSwap. You know what? This is crazy. I want to research this and try this out. PancakeSwap is the Binance thing, right? The Binance swapping, and supposedly you can swap instantly across different exchange, chains instantly. And so what it means when they do swaps is probably just price. Like, for example, you want to buy something a particular meme coin on Solana with your BNB on Binance Smart Chain, right? So, or your Ethereum with Solana. So that's what this is probably doing. Not doing a one-to-one swap probably. So don't expect that. It's most likely just a purchase. But I'm going to look into it because, hey, you know what? This is quite quite impressive if they can pull this off right nicely. But this is a claim, so I don't know. Jimmy Song slams Bitcoin core devs for fiat mentality on op return. I have to agree. Basically, right, Song accuses the core developers of deflecting users' concerns about removing the op return limit, which is currently 80 bytes in size, and ignoring the significant pushback from the Bitcoin community and node runners, he also said. Okay, so the idea that spam is difficult to define, and because it's ambiguity, we shouldn't be making any decisions at all in the software is a time-wasting argument from the fiat politics where you pretend not to know the obvious. So actual debate can never get off the ground. The non-monetary use for Bitcoin are spam. Now, whether or not we should have non-monetary values stored in Bitcoin can be debated. However, providing an easy way to add non-monetary data, right, which is what they are doing when they basically increase the size of the op return, right? The op return is basically just a place to store some data on a specific transaction. You basically allowing non-monetary data on the chain, which was never its intent, right? When you do that. If you keep it the same size, what happens is you can still have non-monetary data, but within limits, normal limits, right? Within reasonable limits. And keeping it at 80 bytes allows for subsystems to be created to store larger amounts of data with hash, right? And for those who don't know what that meant, it means that you can keep a specific data set for a specific transaction and know that the transaction and the data connect to each other and they're validated, right? So you can't change the core data without changing the hash and you know that they're together, right? There are some caveats to that. You can throw some junk and stuff, but then you'll notice the issue there. But anyways, right, that's how I see it. That's personally how I see this should be used, and no other way. Not expanding the op return. That's my personal take, right? I think expanding the op return is a mistake. I think they should leave it as it is. Ooh, the signal to end all signals. I would like to see a pause in this endless valley of speculation, gold, crypto, and profitless companies. Everything's going up. Now, I don't know if that's the case, right? People are like happy and stuff like that. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, the jokes just keep coming. Send it. Yeah, everybody's happy. Topium. Damn. Oh, Kramer. Oh, man. No. It's hilarious. Oh, the jokes. Look at this. Counterpoint. All in. Wow. Oh, my goodness. It's not a loss if you don't sell it. I hate it when that happens. When you feel like if you open the cupboard, you're going to lose it all. Yeah, well, especially on crypto, right? It's not going to go down, right? It's not going to go to zero, right? So hold on. Speaking about not going to zero, if you want to figure out how much you're going to retire how much Bitcoin you need to retire in a specific location in the world, you'll notice, right? The United States, right, you're going to just need a little bit over 1, right? Most countries, even Canada, right, a little bit over 1, right? Depending on your age, of course, right? If your age, 5, current age 5, 2035. Interesting. 75. How does that work? Interesting. Maybe. Yeah, that could work actually. If you're 75 by then. That's kind of weird. This age thing. But anyways, look at that. Look at certain places, man, you need very little. Damn. Costa Rica. Yeah, you need very little in most countries in order to survive. Just basic subsistence living, the basic living, right? So that's on. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Someone can create money out of thin air, right? And charge you interest for it. I want you to let that sink in for a second. Okay? I'm going to make this for free. You're going to work for it and pay me more. I get a free slave. Yeah, that's I think modern day scamming, right? It was right there where you can like scam people very easily. Buy the dip on Bitcoin no matter what. Choose your payment option. Oh, damn. Kidneys. Oh, this is interesting. Right? From 2011 to 2024, gold bugs watched Bitcoiners get rich while gold and silver, precious metals, mining stocks traded sideways. Now gold bugs are getting rich while Bitcoin trades sideways. Soon, gold bugs will get even richer as Bitcoiners go broke. Payback's a bitch. Peter, you might want to take a look at this chart. Let's pretend that gold goes up 10x from here. So right now it's a $21 trillion asset, I think it is. Like maybe a little bit more now. Maybe 25 trillion, 25, almost 30 trillion, right? I'm guessing here, right? But let's just say it's 25, right? A 10x would put it at what? We'll put it at 250 trillion. 250 trillion. That would, and then Bitcoin would have to do nothing or go down, right? Not going to happen. Well, or gold stays the same and Bitcoin goes down. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Right? This is a pipe dream. Clearly. And then even if it did, Bitcoin would still be beating gold by 99.96%. So if Peter had just bought Bitcoin back when he first heard about it right here in 2011, I remember listening to his show, Wall Street Unspun. When he finally first mentioned Bitcoin, I was so excited. And then it was just my excitement actually dropped. I'm like, oh my God, he doesn't understand. I remember driving down the road. I remember the road I was driving down as I was listening to in the car and what I saw, buildings and stuff. I could see it in my head because I was so excited. And it was such a mark that left a mark in my head. And yet, no, I was heading to square one. Right. And, yeah, can't believe it. This guy just doesn't get it and he never will. Anyways, now it's time to do some trading. And if you want to do some trading, you can head over to x.dj15.com, right? Where you can actually find the best exchange for trading, right? Bybit.davinci15.com is the best one I recommend, but I'm giving you an option because honestly, Bybit is very, very difficult to actually sign up for. So, you can click the, show all, and then you can see all the exchanges. The ones in red are clearly restricted in your area. Now, they can use what's it called, a VPN for the ones that are restricted, and you can click on NordVPN to get access to those exchanges. I think WeX is the easiest one to give you access to your money, and same with LevX as well. But it all depends on where you are in order to gain access to that exchange. Okay. Without their VPN, of course. Let's do some TA for today, right? As I said, right, with Bitcoin. What did I say yesterday? That's right. 61.8, the target. Boom. Whoosh, waboosh. We flushed down into that target. And now it's like, okay, so what now? Are we going to break down further? Because like we're holding the parking garage level, as you can see. And so we have to hold that level in order to see us reverse up. So the question is, let's just take this out, and because I think we're done with that, and then decide what to do. Well, we can't decide with this. This is not enough information, right? The best you can do, right, is, well, it's too late now with the short term. You could have had a little bit of a rally here, caught a little bit of a rally for this, the Bollinger Bands to tighten up, but no, that's too little, too late. There is nothing. Let's see on the daily. Is there something on the daily? Ooh, the daily looks like a close. Okay, so the bands are going to be closing. Interesting. Okay. So if that's the case, right, we could break all the way down to the 88.6 to 109. So that's just to close the band a little bit tighter before we break out on Bitcoin. Looking at Ethereum, we still got a little bit ways to go. The 3,900-ish area, the 3,965 area looks like it might be targeting that before we actually see a bounce. And just like I said, hey, you know what? You needed to get out of this trade here because we're targeting the 207, right? For Solana. Now, no guarantees for the management, but looking at the 4 hour, that's good. We're touching back at the 4 hour 200 period moving average. Odds are we're going to be trading sideways in this area for a while, and so the 207 is a target for sure. Okay, that's it for today. All right. Hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.